Hey guys, Landon is back with one more video. So, title is true. Bought myself Kingsong S22. Now, I originally pre-ordered this from EVs, but after, it randomly catching on fire and face planting a bunch of people, I decided to cancel, but I ended up with one again. Why is that? Well, this one is used. I bought it with 150 kilometers, and I got it for a price that I couldn't refuse. And plus, who doesn't want a wheel that might randomly catch on fire or faceplant you? So thought I have to have it. So here it is. Got 250 kilometers on it now, and we can talk about it. So let's get into it. I guess the first thing I want to say is just look how sexy this is. Isn't this a good looking wheel, everybody? I think it's like what all wheels should try to look like. It's not really a box anymore. I mean, I guess if you take all these fancy pads off, which we're gonna talk about, probably won't look as good. But I mean, this has gotta be one of the sexiest wheels ever made, at least for me. For those of you who've been following my channel, I just did a Veteran Sherman review because I bought one of those as well. So I will compare this to the Veteran Sherman as best as I can. This actually does share quite a few traits with the Veteran Sherman. They're both 20-inch wheels. They weigh the same, more or less. They go about the same speed, more or less. But the Sherman has 100-volt system. This is 126 volt. Also, that Sherman I was riding is 3,200 watt hours. This is 2,200 watt hours. So less range, plus suspension. Sherman, more range, no suspension. This is taller because of the suspension. Sherman's definitely more compact. It takes up less space. But I tell you, the suspension on this, yeah, the sliders suck, but man, it's nice to have suspension again, especially a high-speed suspension wheel. It's been working good, but yeah, we know Kingsong did a lot of F-ups with this. The sliders being one of them, but I think Kingsong's working on some right now, and there's a bunch of other smart people that are working on them. So I thought once I find some sliders that I think are worthwhile, I'll put them on and I'll let you guys know how it goes. So this video is just more of like a little more than a first impressions, but because it's still fairly new, I'll make another video later on with more upgrades and we can talk about that stuff then. One of the upgrades I'm gonna do right away, I've already ordered the parts actually. These pads have to go. As pretty as they are, they just don't work for me. It's not like they suck. I'm not gonna say they suck, but I can't melt into the wheel yet because it just feels weird to me. I don't like them. So they're going off, and Grizzla makes it's a plate with Velcro, and it just allows you to have a bigger mounting location for third-party pads, and it looks nice. I think mine were like $100 or something, and they're thick plastic. I'll show you guys when I put them on, and then I can put my Clark pads from the Sherman on here, just so I have some, the same pads I can compare it to when I'm going back and forth between the two machines. Because yeah, these are definitely affecting my opinion of the wheel right now, and I know that. So those are the first to go. One thing I have been enjoying, which has been polarizing on the forums, is the seat. Because people may not like it. It may not be squishy enough for some people, but I'm just happy I have something that I can actually comfortably sit on now. Because I didn't like sitting on the Sherman, and the V11, I mean, it might do terrible things to your body parts if you sit on that handle for any amount of time. So this seat for me, I've been enjoying. I've been doing actually the most seated riding I've ever done. So that's kind of cool. But really what's got me most excited about this wheel has been just the playfulness I get again. It reminds me of when I owned my S18. I have seen the world differently now on this wheel, and Lucas from EVs is absolutely correct. You start looking for little things to go jump off of, stair sets to go bomb down. Man, I was dropping stairs like instantly, like not even touching the stairs, just dropping straight onto the ground, and the suspension was soaking it up like a hot damn. So I think my fun factor has gone up on this wheel more than any other wheel I've owned, which is saying something. But that doesn't mean it's all good. Right off the bat, I'm having real struggles with this trolley handle. It's not so much what it is, it's where it is. It's in the front of the fucking wheel, which makes it so unstable to push around in a store. Now I use EUCs as my vehicle. I have a car, but I try not to take it on almost all my errands unless that errand requires having a car. So I use the trolley handle all the time. Going to stores with it, going to restaurants with it, all that stuff, I need a good trolley handle. And having a trolley handle in the center of the wheel is because the center of the gravity is in the center of the wheel. So if you have it in the front, it's like it's always trying to fall over. People are right that you can push it backwards and you get a little bit more stability, but I'm having a hell of a time feeling comfortable pushing this around a store. It's not like it's scary, but I have to think about it a lot more. Whereas all my other wheels before, it just kind of followed me around like a dog. I didn't really have to think about it. So this is going to be a serious thought if I keep this wheel or not, because every time I go into a store with this fucking trolley handle, I am not happy. So let this be a message to all EUC manufacturers. Don't put the trolley handle in the front or the back. Put it in the center where it's balanced so the people buying it don't go crazy. One thing I will say though is these, although plasticky and kind of flimsy headlights, man, they're awesome in the night. They're so good. I think they're the brightest headlights ever, at least what I've tried. I can't think of a headlight that's brighter than these. And the beam pattern is nice. Some people say it blinds people, but I like to see, and where I live, that's not really an issue because there's not many pedestrians anyways. So these headlights have been awesome. Time will tell how long they held up for though, because they are kind of, kind of flimsy. These pedals, I've actually liked. I've tried flipping them around like some people said. I didn't like them like that. I like them in their factory position. That's just me. They do have cool little nubbins. They're not spikes, they're nubbins. And but I still think these are better than the grip tape pedals. But you could still upgrade them if you want, but I think I'm gonna keep these because they're working for me so far. Let's talk about the kickstand. It's a little piece of plastic. And lots of people break it right away. This one's not broken yet because I don't crash. No, I do crash, but I haven't broke it yet. So that's pretty cool, right? Pretty sturdy. I'd say it's one of the most sturdy kickstands if it's not broken. I've been using it, took it into a restaurant, and it was nice to do this instead of having to lean it against the wall or lie it on its side. I feel like this takes up a little less space. So, I don't know. I think Kingsong did a good job on the kickstand. Yeah, sure, it's plastic, but hey, you could probably easily replace them. This wheel is actually incredibly customizable in terms of its geometry. So the pedals go up and down. There's only 2 settings on the pedals. It looks like about, I don't know, a 1/4 inch, 1/3 of an inch. And then you can adjust the suspension geometry. There's a few holes there that you can play with. Obviously that's gonna bring your riding up and down. But I think, yeah, no, mine are at the highest. Everything's at the highest. And I actually found it really stable at the highest. And I prefer the clearance because this is gonna be my messing around wheel. But if you're having issues with stability, you could try bringing that stuff back closer to the ground. We can talk about the shock. I have everything almost on the loosest settings. Let's see. So this is all the way soft on my compression. And then on my rebound, it's like, it was 6 clicks from all the way soft. That seemed to work for me. Again, it's kind of a bit crude because the sliders add a lot of friction, and that kind of hinders how much you can actually adjust the back shock. This is the stock 750-pound coil. I think it works for my weight. I'm about 180 pounds, maybe 190 with backpack and a gear and all that stuff. And yeah, I don't think I'm gonna change the shock yet until we fix the sliders. This wheel does have a display. It's in the seat, and it is a little far back. I can see why people complain a little bit. I haven't found it to be an issue because I just know I look back a tiny little bit more than what you would expect, and your information is there. All you're getting when you're riding is the speed, and then when you stop, it shows the battery bars. So it's not like incredibly useful, but I like having the speed there for sure. The stock knobby tire is good. It's not amazing though. The issue is it's actually quite a square tire. So for normal riding, it's nice, it has lots of grip, it's stable, until you get to the very edge of the tire here on a sharp turn, and then it feels like you're falling off a cliff. Now, I don't like that personally in my tires. I prefer more of a rounded profile. So another thing I want to do to this wheel is put on the Kenda 262, the Sherman tire, because that'll fit this, and I think that'll be a way better tire for this machine. It's time to talk about the elephant in the room, which is the motor of this machine. People have been having stator slippage, which could cause a faceplant. It could cause it to take out your controller. Not good things. There's been a vote and it says like 15% of all owners are having motor problems. Now, if that was a car, that would be a major recall. So as far as I'm concerned, I think everyone should get new upgraded motors because it's too much of a risk to have your motor randomly fail on you at high speeds. I know that we're beta testers, but I think we all deserve to keep our body parts intact. So Kingsong, please redo the motor, make it safe, and then ship them out to everyone who owns one of these. Thank you. And since we're talking components, I can briefly mention my experience of the controller on this machine. Yes, it's true, it's not a torque monster, which is kind of weird because it has the voltage and it has a big motor, but whatever they did to the controller has not made it super torquey. I think my biggest issue isn't this acceleration, because I don't go crazy on my acceleration anyways, but it seems to be the braking. Now, I'm gonna give it the benefit of the doubt because it could be these pads. So that's why I have that plate coming, and I'll put my Clark pads on, then I can compare the braking to the Sherman, my other wheels. But if that's an issue, that's gonna be another -1 for the S22, because we all need to have brakes, and I haven't found the braking on this to be very exceptional yet. And for a wheel that goes this fast, you need to have brakes. So that's really all I have to say so far. It's only been 250 kilometers, but it's been 10 out of 10 fun. The ability to just, it really flatters you. So yeah, the ability to just go over whatever you want, at whatever speed you want, and the machine just handle it like a champ is really what sets this apart from other wheels, in my opinion. Yes, it has flaws, but when you're riding the machine, you have big smiles. So yeah, we'll keep riding it. I'll keep messing with it, give you guys an update, but I wouldn't be so afraid of this machine yet. Just depends on your use case, but if you want like the ultimate playful wheel that's very powerful still, man, this should be definitely at one of the top of your lists. But Kingsong, please keep fixing this and making it better, so we all want to trust you to buy your wheels. Catch you guys in the next video. Peace.